right, you guys. So, what I want you to do for this project is open up this nameplate starter project that I uploaded on Google Classroom. I already provided the correct dimensions for you so that you could kind of work from the right size. So, this is a 9.5 by 6 rectangle. So, what you're first going to do is you're going to grab a text box. So, down here, we're going to grab a text box, and I'm going to capitalize this, all caps, and I'm going to type my last name. Now, I don't like that font for this, so I'm going to go up to text, text and font. And honestly, I went through a bunch of these before, but I actually like the Times New Roman, which I know is like kind of, you know, normal, like a very traditional font, but for this particular project, that's what I like. So I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to go ahead and move that over here, come here, and I'm going to select it and make it a little bit bigger. Now, because we're going to be manipulating this text, I don't want it to fit the whole size of the nameplate just yet. So that looks like a good size. Okay, so I got my last name. Now, what I'm going to have to do is I need to break that apart. So, what I'm going to do is actually grab a rectangle and I'm going to make it like a different color so it stands out. And I'm going to put a rectangle, very thin. You know what? I'm going to go right along here. So, I want it to be below the H. I'm going to try again. I want it to break it apart so that I don't have lots of teeny tiny pieces. So, trying to get the right spot here. I want below the H here. Okay, sorry, this is taking me so. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to make a rectangle, very skinny, almost looks like a line, all the way through my name. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my text box, hold down Shift on my keyboard, and select that as well. So I can select both at the same time. All right, now I'm going to go up to Path, and I'm going to click Difference. Oop, Path, Difference. So see how that disappeared, but it deleted the line, but it made a mark in my letters, which is exactly what I wanted. So now I'm going to select all the pieces, and now I'm going to go up to Path, and I am going to hit Break Apart. So now do you see how my letters are now broken apart from each other? So now I'm going to click outside of there, and I'm going to click the top part of each letter. And it's in a few different pieces. Then I'm going to use my arrows on my keyboard and move that up. And then I'm going to click outside. I'm going to select the bottom, hold down Shift as I select these so that I can select more than one at a time. Because I want them to all be like in a line together. So I don't want to do them individually because I want them to be straight. Okay, and now I just move them down. Okay, so I've got the dividing plate here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another text box, and I'm actually going to just make it up here. Now I'm going to put the names of my family members. So I have a small family. There's only my husband. I'm going to actually do this in lowercase, except for the. So Matthew, Stacy, and Carson are the names of my family members. So this text is actually going to go down here. But there's a few different things I want you to keep in mind. First off, we need to resize that, and I honestly don't even like that text. No, I'll keep the text. It's kind of cursive. All right, I'm going to keep the text. But what you can see here is when the Glowforge cuts this out, we're going to have to resize it first because we don't want it to go too far outside here. And it's going to all change on us anyway. Okay, so this is about where I want it. But when the Glowforge cuts this out, this letter here, the A, is kind of like it all by itself. See how it's not actually connected to the letters? Like the letters aren't all connected, and that's going to make it tough with the Glowforge, because then you're going to have to individually glue each letter instead of each name. So there's a trick to that. So I'm going to hit, I'm going to select the text, that the letters that I want to be able to move. So I double click. I'm going to move, actually, I'm going to move the whole name. I'm going to hold down Alt on my keyboard, and then I'm going to hit the arrow to move it so that it hits, that A hits the M there. So when the Glowforge cuts that out, well, I actually need to move the rest of it. Alt, I want the A to touch the T. I think all the rest are connected. So when the Glowforge cuts that out, it'll be all one thing. It won't be like letters laying around. I'm going to do the same thing for my name. So I'm going to select these letters, hit Alt, use the arrows to move the text together. See? Now it's, when the Glowforge cuts it out, it's all together. My son Carson, I'm going to select that, hit Alt, move so that the R hits the S. And there's a little gap here, to be honest. So I'm going to move it over. Okay, so now you can kind of see that they're all, each name is chunked together. I'm going to delete the space and respace it. Now I can move it so it's centered again. I actually might make it a little bit bigger now so that it's pretty much even on each side. Just overhangs off the last name just a little bit. Okay, and then here is my nameplate. So I'm going to save that. So we have, and I want you guys to use your own last name and the people in your family, and make that. So this will all fit on a nameplate. All right, let me know if you have questions.